You are the master of your fate. Let's begin. I want you to think about this. Have you ever felt like the world is moving faster than you can keep up? Like you're constantly playing catch up and the future is just a blur? You're not alone. I've seen this pattern before, and I know exactly what it does to a man's confidence. It's a subtle but powerful feeling of being left behind. It's the quiet dread that what you know today will be obsolete tomorrow. It's the mental friction of trying to push your old habits through a new reality. In a world that seems to change before your very eyes, the old rules of success are breaking down. But here is the truth, my friend. It's not the world that needs to slow down. It's your mindset that needs to be upgraded. The mind that cannot adapt will fall. The man who clings to the familiar will find himself lost in the new. But the one who learns to embrace uncertainty, who sees disruption not as a threat, but as a tool, he will not only survive this rapid-fire reality, he will thrive, he will lead, he will build a new legacy while others are still complaining about the old one. In this conversation, I am going to give you the mental blueprint to do exactly that. We're not going to talk about abstract ideas. I'm going to show you how to turn disruption into opportunity, how to make uncertainty your most trusted ally, and how to build a mind that is not just resilient, but antifragile. I want you to get ready to future-proof your thinking. The work begins now. The man who stops learning today will be an obsolete man tomorrow. I want you to hold that truth close, because the world you and I once knew, the world where you could learn a trade once, or master a skill in a single year, and ride that knowledge to the end of your career, that world is gone. It's a memory. Today, the pace of innovation is so swift, a man can find himself obsolete while he's still warming his seat. He can be an expert in something yesterday and find his expertise means nothing tomorrow. I want to talk about the man who clings to what he knows. I've met him countless times. He is the man who believes his past success is a guarantee of his future. He sees change not as a tool, but as a threat. He complains about the new world while the old one crumbles around him, and he insists that the old way was always superior. He is comfortable, and his comfort is a liability. I once knew a man who ran a small printing business. He had built it on an old, solid method. He made a good living for many years. Then a new, faster, more efficient printing technology emerged, one that would have saved him money, time, and opened up a new market. His son pleaded with him to adopt it. He refused. He insisted the old way was better, more reliable. He said, "I've always done it this way. It has worked. Why would I change?" He watched his customers slowly, one by one, leave. He watched his profit shrink until it vanished. He didn't fail because he was a bad businessman. He failed because he was a man who refused to unlearn, who was afraid to embrace a better way. His mind was so fixed on the past he could not see the future. This isn't just a story about business. This is a lesson for the mind. This is a lesson about you right now. The single greatest barrier to your future success isn't the competition or a lack of opportunity. It's a mental model that insists on the familiar. So the first truth we must face is this. Your comfort zone is no longer a place of safety. It is a place of surrender. And the first step toward mastering this new world is admitting that your old way of thinking is actively working against you. The most powerful mind is not the one that knows everything, but the one that can unknow anything. Let's get to the core of this. If the old world was about knowledge, the new one is about a different kind of power, the power to change your mind. I'm talking about more than just being open-minded. I'm talking about a deliberate, practiced mental flexibility. It is the ability to hold a belief or a plan of action with an open hand, ready to let it go the moment a better one presents itself. It is the wisdom to admit you were wrong and the courage to pivot. I saw this in Andrew Carnegie. Most people remember him for steel, for his fortune, but I remember him for his mind. He wasn't a man who clung to one way of doing things. He was a student of the future. He listened, he watched, and he was always ready to abandon a method if he saw a new one that promised to be even 1% more efficient. He understood that in business and in life, the person who holds on to an idea simply because it is their idea is already losing. The person who is willing to take a better idea, no matter where it comes from, is already winning. He was not just a genius of industry. He was a master of mental agility. He shifted his perspective, and with it, he shifted the entire landscape of his field. This is the kind of courage I am talking about. This is the cognitive flexibility that must become the cornerstone of your new mental blueprint. So I will challenge you with this. Can you name one long-held belief you are willing to question this week? Is it a belief about your career, about your skills, about what you are capable of? Whatever it is, I want you to find it. Write it down. Look at it not as a truth you must defend, but as a hypothesis you are ready to test. The moment you can do this, the moment you can question your own certainties, is the moment you begin to future-proof your mind. You cannot fill a cup that is already full. Before you can learn anything new, you must be willing to empty the cup. This is the art of unlearning. It's the act of consciously releasing the old assumptions, the outdated methods, and the comfortable habits that no longer serve you. Most people think of growth as adding something new, a new skill, a new piece of information. They treat their mind like a storage house, just piling new items on top of the old ones. But true growth, the kind of growth that matters in this new world, is more like clearing a field. You must first pull the weeds, remove the stubborn stones, and turn over the old soil before you can plant anything new that has a real chance of taking root and flourishing. I want you to think about the man who is trying to build a new house, but he insists on using the old rusty tools that his father used. The hammer is chipped. The saw is dull. He complains about how hard the work is, how long it takes, and how the materials aren't the same. But the truth is, the problem isn't the work itself. The problem is his insistence on using broken tools. He's not just slow, he's doing damage to his own foundation. That is what a mind that refuses to unlearn looks like. It is a mind that is full of broken tools, old ideas, old grudges, old ways of doing things that are simply not fit for the job anymore. The ego resists this. It tells you that to unlearn is to admit you were wrong. It tells you that your past experience is a sacred thing that must be defended at all costs. But I am here to tell you that true strength is not in a refusal to change. True strength is in the courage to discard what no longer works and to make room for something better. So I challenge you, what is one mental tool, one old belief, or one outdated assumption are you ready to lay down today? You cannot move forward while you are still carrying the weight of the past. A single thought can change your life. 1,000 thoughts applied can change the world. You don't need to return to a classroom to keep your mind sharp. The world is an endless library, and you hold the key. The problem is, most people are simply wandering the aisles, looking at the books but never opening them. The secret to learning in this new age isn't about time, it's about intention. I want you to practice what I call micro-learning, a system for absorbing high-value information in small daily doses. Think of your day as a collection of brief opportunities, the moments between meetings, the 10 minutes before you go to bed, the time you spend waiting for a friend. These are not empty spaces, they are mental fuel stops. This isn't about passive consumption, it's about strategic consumption. Instead of scrolling aimlessly, you ask a simple, powerful question. What is the one thing I need to learn or understand today to move my goal forward? Perhaps it's a new principle of leadership, or a better way to structure your day, or a single, powerful psychological truth. You seek out the best answer you can find. One article, one video, one podcast episode, and you absorb it. You don't just consume the information, you reflect on it. You ask yourself, how can I apply this today? This is the method I saw in Thomas Edison. He wasn't a man who just sat in a lab waiting for lightning to strike. He was a student of everything, all the time. He didn't just read, he applied. He took a piece of a puzzle from here and a piece from there, and he assembled them into something no one had ever seen before. He was a master of the relentless daily pursuit of knowledge, and it was that habit that made him a genius. Your assignment for this section is simple but powerful. Today, find one article, one video, or one podcast on a topic you know nothing about, but that is directly related to your purpose. Don't just listen to it. Summarize its core message in a single sentence. Then, spend 1 minute thinking about how you could apply it in the next 24 hours. Your mind is a muscle, and this is how you train it to be strong, agile, and ready for whatever the future brings. The only thing a man should fear is the failure to try. Most people are built for resilience. That is a good thing. Resilience means you can bounce back from a setback. You can take a punch and get back up. But the truly successful, the truly powerful, are built for something more powerful. They are built for antifragility. Antifragility means you don't just recover from a shock or a stressor. You get stronger from it. You grow from it. A resilient man is like a rubber ball. He can be dropped, and he'll return to his original shape. An antifragile man is like a weightlifter. Every time he lifts a heavy weight, every stress, every failure, every challenge, his muscles don't just return to normal. They grow bigger, stronger. I will tell you about a setback in my own life. It was a business deal I had spent years building. I had put everything into it, my time, my energy, my very reputation. When it fell apart, the blow was severe. For a moment, it felt like everything was lost. My first instinct was to despair, to retreat. But then I remembered the countless conversations I had with Andrew Carnegie about the nature of obstacles. He once told me, "Every difficulty a man faces is simply a test of his resolve. The size of the man is measured not by the size of his problem, but by the size of the man he becomes after he solves it." Instead of focusing on what I had lost, I focused on what I had learned. The pressure, the problem, the sheer impossibility of the situation forced me to think in new ways, to create solutions I would have never imagined in my comfort zone. That setback didn't just teach me a lesson, it forged a new, more powerful way of doing business. It made me anti-fragile. This is the mindset you must cultivate. The next time a setback hits you, when the market shifts, when a project fails, when a plan falls apart, I want you to ask yourself a single powerful question. How can this make me stronger? Don't just endure it. Don't just survive it. Look at the pressure and see it as a tool meant to forge you into something better. No man is an island, especially not in a storm. In times of great change, the most dangerous path you can take is the path of isolation. A man who tries to master a new reality alone will find himself at a disadvantage. He will lack new perspectives. He will be blind to his own mistakes. He will have no one to push him, to challenge him, or to remind him of the truths he has forgotten. I will tell you what I learned from watching my friend Thomas Edison. When he was working on his great inventions, he didn't just lock himself in a room. He assembled a team. He brought together the smartest minds he could find, men of all backgrounds and skills. They were known as his muckers. They worked together, challenged one another, and relentlessly tested every idea. He didn't just hire inventors, he built a community of purpose. He understood that the collective mind is infinitely more powerful than the individual one. The world is changing at a pace no single person can fully comprehend on their own. You need a council of minds. You need people who are also committed to growth, not stagnation. You need people who will hold you accountable, share their victories, and help you navigate your own failures. This is not a matter of networking. It is a matter of survival. So, I will give you a final challenge for this section. Find one person who inspires you, who thinks bigger than you, and who is on a similar path. It could be an old mentor, a new acquaintance, or a colleague. And this week, I want you to schedule a conversation with them. Not to ask for a favor, but to listen, to learn, to share a challenge you're facing and hear how they would approach it. Remember, the man who builds alone is building in a vacuum, but the man who builds with a community is building an empire that will endure. The future is not a place you are heading to. It is a thing you are building every single day with every thought and every action you take. You now have the blueprint. The world is not speeding up to leave you behind. It is speeding up to reveal what you are truly made of. It is a test, and the man who passes this test is not the one who knows the most, but the one who can think the fastest, adapt the quickest, and who is willing to become a perpetual student of life. Your success in this new era will not be defined by what you know, but by your courage to unlearn and your willingness to grow. The work of a man is never done. Now you have a new task. Go forth and build your future-proof mind. Now, we have reached the most important part of our conversation. This is where we turn words into action. Because a truth you know but do not apply is no better than an illusion. Here are your marching orders. 1. Embrace cognitive flexibility. This week, find one of your own long-held beliefs about your career, about your own capabilities, or about how things should be done, and question it. Don't fight to defend it. Examine it. Ask yourself if it is still serving you or if it has become a liability. 2. Practice micro-learning. Spend just 15 minutes each day seeking out one new, high-value insight on a topic that will directly serve your purpose. It could be from a book, an article, or a podcast. Don't just consume the information. Summarize its core idea in a single sentence and consider how you can apply it. 3. Build your anti-fragile mind. The next time a setback hits you, no matter how small, don't just try to recover. Ask yourself a single, powerful question. How can this make me stronger? Look for the lesson, the opportunity, the new path that only became visible because of the difficulty. 4. Find your community. This week, connect with at least one person who challenges you to think bigger and who is also on a path of growth. Schedule a conversation. Be open. Be a listener. The support you need to navigate this new world is often found in the company you keep. Remember, the man who masters this new reality will not be the one with the most knowledge, but the one with the most adaptable mind. Your success is waiting for you. Now, go and earn it. Remember, your success begins the moment you decide to act.